AITA for kicking my husband out after he believed a false DNA test of our daughter. Hi, Redditors. I'm writing this from Europe. We live in Germany, but my husband's family is from conservative circles. I'm 28, my husband, 29, and our little daughter, 2 years old. I'm in complete despair because my family is falling apart due to the idiocy of my father-in-law, and I don't know if I did the right thing by throwing him out of the house. Please judge me honestly because I feel guilty, but at the same time I don't. It's a long story, but I'll try to describe everything in detail so you understand the context. Sorry for the emotions, but I'm writing this with tears in my eyes because I can't sleep at night. First, a little background about our family. My husband and I met at university, fell in love quickly, and got married after 2 years. He's a great guy, caring, loving father, works in IT, I'm a school teacher. Our little daughter, let's call her Anna, was born a year after the wedding, and she is our everything. But here's where the problems begin, my father-in-law. He's 60, an ultra-religious type, the kind who goes to church every Sunday, quotes the Bible at every turn, and believes women should be pure and submissive. Even before our wedding, I heard from mutual acquaintances that my father-in-law wanted me to take some purity test for his son, like to check if I was really a virgin, because in the modern world, women aren't trustworthy. I laughed it off then, thought it was a joke, but my husband confessed that his father really pressured him about it, but he dismissed it. My father-in-law always looked at me sideways, as if I were some modern temptress, because I don't go to church regularly and have my own opinions. My mother-in-law, 58, is the opposite, a quiet woman who always tries to smooth things over, but is clearly afraid of her husband. Now about our daughter. Anna is a beautiful girl, but she doesn't look very much like my husband's family. They are all fair, with blue eyes, typical Germans. I have mixed heritage. My mom is white from Germany, and my father is dark-skinned from the Middle East. He immigrated a long time ago. I look more like my mom, fair skin, blonde hair, but I have some of my father's features, like darker eyebrows or the shape of my nose. Anna turned out somewhere in between. Fair, but with a slightly darker complexion than my husband and brown eyes from my father, probably. Nothing strange, genetics is unpredictable. But from the moment Anna was born, my father-in-law would mutter things like, "She doesn't look like our family," or "Why is she so dark?" I ignored it, thought it was his prejudice. Last month, everything exploded. We were at a family dinner at their place. The in-laws live nearby in the same city. Anna was playing, and my father-in-law suddenly suggested playing doctor, like taking a cotton swab and checking her teeth. I didn't pay attention because I was in the kitchen with my mother-in-law. Later, a week later, my father-in-law comes to our house with some envelope and says, "I had to do this because you don't deserve trust." It turns out this asshole secretly took a DNA sample from Anna, that cotton swab, probably from her mouth, and did a test. Not a paternity test for my husband, but a grandfather test, meaning he compared his DNA with Anna's to check for shared genes. He thought if Anna wasn't his granddaughter, then I must have cheated on his son. The result, negative, meaning no shared genes. My father-in-law starts screaming at me, "You slut! She's not ours. You cheated on my son." I'm in shock, trying to explain that it's impossible, I never cheated, and that genetics isn't that simple. But the worst part was my husband's reaction. He was sitting there, pale, and when he saw the results, he just exploded. "How could you? After everything we've been through?" he yells at me. I'm crying, making excuses, saying I only love him, that Anna is his daughter, that his father probably made a mistake with the test or something. But he doesn't listen. He says everything between us is over, that he can't live with a lie, packs his things, and goes to his parents. Since then, he's been ignoring my calls, only texting me not to worry about Anna because he'll think about what to do with her. I'm in despair, alone with a child, crying all the time, can't eat. And my father-in-law, I threw him out of the house immediately after that scandal, screamed at him to get out and never come back because he ruined our family with his paranoia. My mother-in-law tried to calm things down, but I told her to leave too because she didn't protect us. Now I'm thinking, AITA, did I do the right thing by throwing my father-in-law out? And more importantly, what do I do about my husband now? He doesn't believe me, thinks I cheated. Should I get an official paternity test? But why should I have to justify myself? Please advise, because I'm on the edge. Update 1. Hi, Redditors. Thank you to everyone who responded to my original post. I read all the comments. Some said I was NTA, not the asshole, because my father-in-law violated privacy. Some advised immediately getting an official DNA test for my husband and Anna to prove the truth, and some warned that it might be a trap set by my father-in-law. I didn't sleep for 2 nights after your feedback because everything was spinning in my head. Should I fight for the marriage or just get a divorce and move on? Anna started asking where her dad was, and it broke my heart. She's only 2. How do you explain to a child that her grandfather ruined everything with his paranoia? I even called a friend who is a lawyer, and she advised documenting everything for a possible divorce, including how my father-in-law took the DNA without permission in Germany. This might be a violation of data laws, but I'm not sure. But I decided not to rush with lawyers because I still love my husband, despite his blind trust in his father. 3 days passed after the scandal, and yesterday evening my mother-in-law called. At first I didn't want to answer, it was her number, and after I threw them both out, I thought it was the end. But Anna was crying because she wanted daddy, and I thought, what if it's about the child? I answered. My mother-in-law's voice was trembling as if she had been crying. Please don't hang up, she says. We need to talk. It's important for Anna's sake and for all of us. Come to our house tomorrow at 2:00 p.m. Your father-in-law won't be there, he's at church meeting with the pastor. Just me, you, and your husband, he'll be there too, but I promise no scandals. I asked what it was about, but she only said, it's about the truth, an old truth I've been hiding for years. Please come for your daughter's sake. I hesitated for a long time, maybe it's a trap to take Anna or something. Your comments about don't trust them were spinning in my head. But curiosity won, plus I thought if my husband was there, it was a chance to talk to him face to face, since he's blocking me on messengers. I arranged with a neighbor to babysit Anna. I didn't want to bring the child into this circus, and I went. I arrived today at 2:00 p.m. Their house looked as usual, neat with a cross above the door, but the atmosphere was heavy, like before a storm. My mother-in-law opened the door, her eyes red, as if she hadn't slept. She hugged me, which was weird because she always kept her distance because of my father-in-law. Thank you for coming, she whispers. I know you hate us now, but listen. She led me into the living room. My husband was sitting there on the sofa, hunched over, with dark circles under his eyes. He didn't even look at me at first, just muttered, hi. I sat opposite him, my heart pounding like I was being interrogated. My mother-in-law poured tea, her signature herbal tea that she always makes when she's nervous, and started talking. Her voice trembled. She looked at the floor as if ashamed. It all started 30 years ago, she says. My husband and I got married young. He was very religious, from a strict family where the wife had to be perfect. But our marriage wasn't happy. He worked a lot but was cold and controlling at home. I felt lonely. Then at work, I met a man, a colleague, kind, attentive. It was a short affair, just a few weeks, but I got pregnant. I knew the child wasn't my husband's because we were hardly together then. But I was scared. Divorce in our community was a disgrace, plus my husband would have destroyed me, so I kept quiet. A son was born, my husband, and my husband was happy, thought he was his. I hid this secret all these years, prayed for God to forgive me. But when my husband did that DNA test with Anna, the results showed no shared genes because my son is not his biological son. Meaning, Anna doesn't have my husband's genes because her father is not his son. I sat there in shock, mouth open, couldn't believe it. My husband jumped up, face red. Mom, what are you saying? Is this a joke? How could you cheat on Dad? He was screaming, pacing the room, hitting the table with his fist. My mother-in-law was crying. I'm sorry, son, I was too scared to tell you. And you, my daughter-in-law, I'm sorry, I knew about your father-in-law's test, but I didn't stop it because I was afraid the truth would come out. But now it's all out. I asked, why now? She said that after the scandal, my husband came to them, told them everything, and she couldn't take the guilt anymore. I couldn't watch your family fall apart because of my lie. My husband turned to me, his eyes full of tears. I didn't know, I thought you cheated, I'm sorry. But I was in such shock that I just nodded and left. I'm home now, Anna is sleeping, and I don't know what to think. Does this change everything? Should I forgive my husband for not believing me right away? And what about my father-in-law? Should we tell him? He thinks I'm a slut. Please advise in the comments. This isn't the end yet because my husband is calling now, wants to talk. I'll update if there's more. Update 2. Hello everyone again. Thank you for the support in the comments to update 1. You were right that it was a bombshell, and many advised not to rush decisions, to take a pause and think about Anna. Some said my mother-in-law is also an asshole for hiding the truth for so many years, and that the whole family needs therapy now. I agree, because emotions are off the charts. After that meeting, I came home in a zombie state. Anna was playing with toys, and I sat on the floor, hugging her and crying quietly so as not to scare her. My thoughts were spinning. How could my mother-in-law live with this for 30 years? And my father-in-law, this holy man who judges everyone morally, raised a son that wasn't his. The irony is killing me. Plus, I remembered all those times my father-in-law looked down on me, muttered about purity, and it turns out his own wife. My husband called an hour after the meeting. "Please, let's talk," he says. "I'm in shock, but I was an idiot. Can I come over?" I allowed it because Anna missed him and we needed to talk. He came at 8:00 p.m. with flowers, my favorite lilies, and a box of candy for Anna. She rushed to him, "Daddy?" And he burst into tears, hugged her, whispered, "My little girl, Daddy's here." We put her to sleep and sat down in the kitchen. We talked until 3 a.m. I poured everything out. How much it hurt that he didn't believe me, that he immediately believed his father, that he left us with Anna. "You've known me for 5 years, I said. "How could you think I would cheat?" he cried. "I grew up with a father who always said women lie, and when I saw that test, I broke. But now I understand it's because of his paranoia, not because of you. I'm sorry, my love. I love you, and Anna is my daughter, regardless of DNA. But now I don't even know who I am. Mom cheated, Dad isn't mine. It's like the end of the world." We talked about everything. About his childhood. He recalled how his father was strict, hit him for little things, said be a man. About my family, how my parents, despite their mixed heritage, always trusted each other. About the future. He suggested we do an official DNA test for him and Anna to confirm, even though we know she's his, because I didn't cheat, and even a test for him and his father, but my mother-in-law said it wasn't necessary because she's sure. I asked about my father-in-law. "Will you tell him?" My husband shook his head. "I don't know. It would destroy Mom if he found out. Maybe let him live in his illusion. He's old anyway, with heart problems." My mother-in-law called him separately, asked for forgiveness, said she loves him as a son, regardless of biology. He stayed the night on the couch because I'm not ready yet, and in the morning we had breakfast together. Anna was happy, laughing, as if nothing had happened. But I'm still in doubt. Should I forgive him completely? What if there's another crisis and he doesn't believe me again? Many commenters advised couples therapy. I think we'll sign up. About my father-in-law, I want to tell him the truth so he knows I'm a normal wife, unlike his, but my husband asks me not to because it would ruin the family completely. "Let Mom decide," he says. He went to work now, but promised to come back in the evening. I feel relief, but also fear. What do you think, Redditors? Still in TA? And do I have a right to be angry at my mother-in-law now? I'll update if there are developments. Maybe we'll meet with her again. Update 3. Hello, Redditors. This will be my final update, as I want to close this chapter and focus on my life. First, a huge thank you to everyone who commented on my previous posts and updates. Your advice was invaluable, from don't rush to forgive, to go to therapy, and protect your child. Many said I was NTA from the very beginning, and that helped me not feel guilty for throwing my father-in-law out. Some warned about possible manipulation from my mother-in-law, others advised an official DNA test for peace of mind. We considered all of it. I didn't expect my story to get so many responses, over 500 comments, but it gave me strength. Now I'll tell you how everything turned out in the last few days in detail, because you deserve the full picture. After update 2, my husband came back in the evening as promised. He brought dinner from our favorite Italian restaurant, carbonara for me, pizza for Anna, her favorite, with cheese, and a bottle of wine for us. Anna was thrilled, running around the house, shouting, "Daddy's here," and that melted the ice between us. We put her to bed early because she was tired from playing, and we sat on the balcony, our favorite spot for serious conversations. The weather was warm for autumn in Germany, the stars were shining, and it created an atmosphere like we were back in the days when we first started dating. My husband started with apologies, not just sorry, but in detail. I was a blind idiot. I believed my father because I grew up under his influence. He always taught me, don't trust women, they're cunning, and when I saw that test, everything flipped in my head. But now I understand it's his problem, not ours. I love you, and Anna is my daughter, period. I don't want to lose you because of the past. I poured out my emotions, how much it hurt when he left without believing me, how I cried at night thinking our family was destroyed, how I'm afraid that in the future, if something else happens, like some gossip or misunderstanding, he would doubt me again. He listened carefully, didn't interrupt, held my hand. Then he said, "Let's do an official test for me and Anna. not because I doubt it, but to close this topic forever. And let's sign up for a therapist for couples to deal with my bugs from my father. We agreed. The next day he called the lab and we gave samples, cotton swabs from the mouth, all official with documents. The results came in 48 hours, 99.999% match. Anna is his daughter. He cried with relief, even though we already knew. It was like a full stop in that crazy story. Regarding the in-laws, my mother-in-law called a few times. First to my husband, she asked for forgiveness again, said she regrets her whole life with the secret. Then to me, thank you for not telling your father-in-law. I'm afraid it would kill him, he has heart problems, and he's so religious he wouldn't survive the sin. She shared details, how the affair happened because of loneliness in the marriage, how she prayed for years for God to forgive her, and how she now wants to make it up, help with Anna, be a grandmother. I listened, but said, I'm not angry with you, but this is your business with your husband, my father-in-law, and your son. Sort it out yourselves. My husband also decided not to tell his father. He raised me, loved me in his own way, let it remain that way. If mom wants to confess, her choice, but I won't interfere. My father-in-law, by the way, tried to call my husband once, muttered something about that slut, me, but my husband cut him off. Dad, this is our business and you were wrong. Don't interfere anymore. We decided to limit contact with him, no visits, only if my mother-in-law comes to us with Anna alone without him. I don't want his toxicity to affect our daughter. We reconciled completely that night on the balcony, hugs, kisses, tears. He stayed and we woke up as a family. Breakfast together, a walk in the park with Anna. She was feeding ducks, laughing, and it was perfect. We're now planning a short vacation, going to a lake for the weekend to reset. We've signed up for a therapist for next week, a couples session to discuss trust and boundaries with relatives. I've decided, let the in-laws deal with their past themselves. I don't care, I'm not going to seek revenge or reveal the secret, because it's not my war. My energy is going to our family, to Anna, who is growing so fast, to my husband, who now looks at me with even more love, and to myself, I even signed up for yoga to relieve stress. Do I regret throwing my father-in-law out? No, it was the right thing. He violated our boundaries, and now he knows he can't behave like that. If anyone asks, AITA? You said in TA, and I agree. Life goes on, and we're stronger after this. Thank you, Reddit, for being my shoulder in this chaos. If anything radical happens, I hope not, I'll update, but I think this is the end. Take care of your families, everyone. What are your thoughts on this story? Did the author do the right thing? What would you have done in her shoes? Share your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss new stories.